hardest part of releasing a game demo is resisting the urge to add more stuff to it. That's it. Okay, now that the hardest part is out of the way, I want to share some of the other challenges I've come across while preparing a demo, and why it took me longer than I expected. But first, a quick announcement. As I'm publishing this video, I'm also starting a playtest for Vantra City on Steam. You can sign up for it on the game's Steam page, and don't forget to join the Discord linked in the description for discussions and feedback. By the way, my game is not VR exclusive, it's playable both with keyboard and mouse and gamepad. I will try to approve playtest applications as soon as I can, but if I receive too many, I might have to limit them. Back to the topic. My game Vantra City is in active development, so I knew I had to make a public demo sooner or later so I can get some actual feedback. And because the final game is supposed to be an open world sandbox that relies on systems and emergent gameplay rather than a linear story, defining the scope of the demo has been pretty hard. So for this first demo, I settled on an interactive environment showcase, which is where my game is at now. I'm kinda nervous how it'll be received, as there aren't any goals or missions in it right now, so it's not really a game in the traditional sense. But there are unique experiences to be found for those who pay attention to the environment. Preparing for this demo has made me realize why big open world games rarely publish demos before release. It's because the level of polish expected of a demo is comparable to the level of polish for the final game. And polishing a huge open world where lots of things can go wrong is just so much harder than a small, self-contained level. I've spent the last couple of months or so fixing bugs and performance issues, and it's still not enough, so I can't say I'm completely satisfied with the results. But some of the fixes are long-term projects that I will probably keep working on until the game's release. For example, vehicle navigation and obstacle avoidance. On the other hand, I do need player feedback, so I don't want to postpone the demo too much. So maybe this playtest will tell me if this is an acceptable level of jank for a demo, or should I cook it a bit longer. Another thing I've been working on is adding more subtle reactivity to the world to really demonstrate that I'm aiming for immersion, and that this environment is more than just a static backdrop for future gameplay. I was lucky enough to have a live playtest last year where I could watch how the players interacted with my city environment and what they expected to see happen. So I took notes and added in the interactions that were missing. I noticed that the players enjoyed jumping into fountains and throwing things into the water, so I added splashes and ripples to all water surfaces. Also, I had some generic stacks of books on the shelves initially, but I saw that the players really wanted to grab the individual books, so I added procedurally generated books. Now you can actually take a look at each one, and although they don't contain any text, some of them have unique reading tooltips that reveal a bit more of the city's lore. I also added some subtle movement to the plants and fabrics of the game, just so those things don't feel rigid. They are not physically accurate and still need improvement, but it's a start. I've added sounds to almost everything that's supposed to have a sound, mostly from the free sound libraries, but just making the right sound play at the right time and place took me a while. I've added radios around the city that play the only station I have for now, that can be picked up and turned on and off. Oh yeah, Vantra City has music now, thanks to my wonderful collaborators Laxal and Swasage. And yet there are still more interactions I want to add. For example, I saw some players hold a glass in one hand and a bottle in another and try to pour the liquid from the bottle. That one would be more complicated, but it's also something I'd like to add. Not just the bottle interactions, but water physics in general. So you'll be able to take a shower, fill all kinds of containers with liquid, interact with fountain jets, etc. Then there are all the various types of controls and settings I've had to add and test. Smooth and teleport movement options for VR, smooth and snap style turning, configurable keybinds for keyboard and mouse, gamepad support, although the menu navigation with gamepads still needs some work. I mean, all these things seem so basic and every game is expected to have them, but they take quite a bit of effort and time to implement and test. Another important addition to the demo are the city information terminals, which I hope will provide a bit of direction for the player. When you start the game, you will spawn next to an information terminal, and this is intentional. You don't have to interact with it, but if you do, the terminal can reveal some lore about the city and give you directions to specific points of interest. And there is a bit more to it that I hope you will discover on your own. So yeah, basically these are all the things I've been working on for the past few months. And as soon as I'm done with this demo, I am starting on the NPCs. This will probably be the hardest part of this project, so they're gonna take quite a few months to complete the way I envision them. But it will also be the most interesting part, so it'll be fun. Stay creative.